Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's nice being on here this evening. It's nice having everyone around. how uh, how has your day been? How is the preparation for the celebration also? The Christmas celebration going over there? Yeah, today we are going to be looking at a very special, topic, and it's creating lasting family traditions. Yeah, that's what we're going to be looking at. It's something we don't get to uh, look at a lot in our part of the world, but it's something very, very important, and goes a long way to speak to family bonding. And so I have on here a special friend and a very special guest in person of Diane Kalu. Please join me to welcome her to this special edition of the Family Life show, Family Life Today show, the FLT show. I remain Ifeoluwapo Aribisala, your host. Yeah, so please join us as we go along in this interesting episode. Yeah. So thank you very much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it, and I do not take it for granted. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
It's long overdue, and I'm
Long
really
overdue,
glad to.
yes. It is.
I'm really glad to be here. Like
Yeah,
it's been
yeah,
for
yeah,
what for the longest time,
yeah,
and
exactly.
it's my utmost pleasure to be here
Thank you
to
very much.
share my experience and
Yeah.
what I think about family traditions. And so to go right ahead into this
Okay.
um, this
Yeah.
discussion. So it's going to be just a conversation. It's not going to be like a teaching, just to make it lively. So
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
first want to start by saying that family is God's. It's
Okay. Okay.
God's.
Just a minute. Just before you start. Yeah. Let me
Okay.
read up your profile. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we have on here Dan Kalu. She's the founder of Wike. Dan Kalu is the founder of Wike Lakota Foundation, a trusted resource which supports women and advocates for young widows and their children. The foundation is spread across 27 states in Nigeria and 5 countries globally. She's an astute leader, I can testify, an administrator, and a therapist by training. Jan Kalu is a mentor to many and a philanthropist who, through our platforms and strategic partnerships, has provided so many young widows with scholarships to further their education and business empowerment opportunity to break the stereotypes surrounding them. Dan is a creative director of Pillars and Ladders Limited and sits on the board of a number of organizations. She is the Nigerian representative of the Modern Widows Club, an international organization for widows advocacy and mentorship. She's also a certified street business school coach, an international platform that equips women living in poverty with the knowledge that they need to build sustainable businesses. As a humanitarian and a member of the Association for Counseling, Matchmaking and Psychotherapy of Nigeria, she's a recipient of several international awards like the International Mandela Humanitarian Award. Diane has been featured on several platforms, lending a passionate voice to advocacy for widows, leadership, family life, and mental health. Diane is a woman of many talents, of which music is one of them. She's a recording artist who has shared the music stage with many great artists. She is a convener of several capacity building and empowerment programs, which give women the opportunity to thrive learn, and remain valuable in the society. She was widowed at a very young age, and this gave her a deep yearning to help others like herself. In doing this, she developed a strong sense of devotion and a deep passion for charitable work. Please, let's make welcome Dan Kalu once again. We are so blessed having you on here this evening. Thank you once again for coming on. Thank you. Thank you. So we can, without much ado, we can proceed. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll just go right into it. Thank you again for having me. Like
Thank
I
you.
said, it's not going
Welcome.
to be too much English. It's just going to be a simple conversation. Um, if you don't mind, I'd like it to be as interactive as possible. So before I go into what I have today, I just want to lay a very simple foundation. I believe that my dear friend has done a lot, or have said it over and over again. But for me, before I proceed, I'd like to say that, family is God's it's God's idea of expanding the society. Family is the small unit, but a powerful unit God designed to help us expand our society. So imagine a child who is raised in a proper family, you know, being sent out there. The moral decadence we're experiencing today wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
And that's why the enemy is hell bent on doing everything to ensure that the family system goes down. He tries to corrupt and all of that. So family tradition is one of the simplest and quickest ways to keep these small but powerful units together. Small but powerful units called family together. And what is family tradition? It's just, you know, a way of keeping family values, the value system of a family, making sure it transcends from you to the next generation. Simply put, but I have a definition here that I'm going to read out that I came up with. It says it's a pattern of behavior that reflects or reinforces a family's value, attitudes, or belief. So the very first question I'll ask you, if you're listening in or you're watching, is a do you have family values? First of all, if you have family values like kindness, we show kindness in our family, we show love and all of that, then it will be easy for you to cultivate or come up with a tradition, a long lasting or sustainable tradition. So the first question I'd want you to write down in your notes or in your phone pad, whatever you're jotting with, is do you have a do you have family values? What are the values your children will recognize and say, oh, some are unspoken, some are spoken, you know, they'll recognize and say, oh no, we don't do this here, or we don't say this here, or we don't act this way. So those family values are very important. If you have them, then having if family traditions alongside are very simple. And of course, there are different types of traditions. You have the cultural tradition, you have the family tradition, you have the religious tradition, and of course, the family tradition, which we're focusing on today. Now, I'd ask, why is it important to have this family tradition? What is the importance? As you said, here in Nigeria, we do not pay attention to things like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just everybody do your own. We do not think that they are important. But can I tell you that somehow, if you look at it, we have these traditions. It's just that we haven't named them or labeled them traditions. For example, praying together in the morning. If you're a family that prays together in the morning, that's a tradition. I was just thinking while I was, trying to prepare for this, this conversation. I remember that growing up, My mom will wake us 5 o'clock in the morning with your rumpled face. You must come out to the parlor, sit down, and participate in morning prayer, whether you like it or not. That was a family tradition. She was trying to pass down the importance of prayer and all of that. A family that prays together stays together. So that was a family tradition that we held on to. And now, having my own children, I just automatically see myself doing the same. Whether they like it or not, we sit down there, and by the time we're done with the conversation, you know, everybody is smiling and happy, right? So that's a family tradition. So I want you to pause for a bit and think, do I have anything in my family? So it's just repeated positive action that you do together as a family. Repeated positive action that you do together as a family. So let me give you 1 second to pause and think about it. Is there anything that I do together, that we do together as a family? Think, just 1 second. Is there anything at all that you do together as a family? What are the things that you do together? Okay, now that you have identified it. So what are the benefits? What's the importance? First of all, is it creates positive memories, right? It helps your children grow up with, positive childhood memories. A lot of us grew up with very ugly memories of our childhood, most people. And most parents don't know that. These things that we do to children when they are young is actually embedded in their subconscious as they grow older. And so we want to make sure that, instead of, in fact, it's the onus lies on us as parents to ensure that we make the best of their childhood for them. For example, you can start creating core memories for your children by through family traditions. What are core memories? Memories that would form their belief system. For example, let me give you one very simple example. A mom or a dad or both parents coming out under the rain to play with their children. That is a core memory. It sounds like something so simple, yet so powerful. Imagine a child saying, I want to go under the rain, I want to go under the rain. And you let that child out, and the child goes under the rain. And you join the child under the rain, wet your body, wet your hair, wet every, you're jumping with joy. I'm telling you, that's an example of a core memory that that child will grow up with, you know. And in their adult years, they will remember, oh, my mom or my dad used to come out to play with us in the rain, or things like um, pillow fights, things like that. So you see, those kind of things are creating positive memories, and it is important that our children
So
create,
it's just not necessarily in the big things.
yes, not necessarily. For me, it's the ability to be creative with the simplest things you can find around your house. With the simple, for me, parenting is creativity, finding ways to make it work. Many of us were never parents before we actually became parents, so we learned on the job. You learn to be a parent on the job. But the truth is, whatever you focus on will grow. Whatever you put
Yeah.
your mind to will grow. And so, if you say, I want to make this work, I want to give my children some of the things I didn't have as a child, or I want to replicate what my parents gave me as a child, you know, that in itself will become a motivation to look for ways to help, or to, create those fun memories. I know it's not easy. It's not, mommy, daddy, we're always busy, but it's that willingness. They say, where there's a will, there is a what?
There's a way. There's
There
a
is a
way.
way. The
Yeah.
second point I would like to talk about why it's important is it creates consistency. It's creates the value of consistency. Children thrive on consistency, right? Except when they get to maybe their teenage years, but somehow they remember. For example, let me give I'm going to be using very simple examples so we know that these things are really simple. So, in my house while growing up, we had a timetable, a food timetable. And even up till 2 years ago, we followed that timetable. In my house, that timetable was consistent. So, wherever you are in the world and you're going back home and it's a Tuesday,
This
you
is
know
what
that
we're
do you understand? You know
yeah.
what is being, you know the meal to expect at home on a Tuesday. So that consistency never left me. Where I just knew that, oh, by this time, this is what they will be having. They don't have any other, there's no
Yeah.
choice. It became a consistent thing. So children thrive on consistency. It's important because it makes them feel like, okay, there's something working. And when that value is being passed down, you are subconsciously telling that child, you know, to be consistent. Do you understand? To be
Yeah.
consistent, as you know, or some people may not know, children are born tabula rasa. What that
Yeah.
means is children are born empty. And so you fill them with whatever values, whatever um, belief system, ideology you have, that's what your child takes after. So if you teach that child to be consistent through by the way of family traditions, they will somehow maintain that consistency. Then another point I would like to talk about is a sense of belonging and identity. Abraham Maslow's law of needs, if you look at it, the last one says everybody has the need be to be recognized, to identify. You know, when a child when a child participates, or when a family participates in this family tradition, when it's a family tradition that you you have come up with, you have inculcated in your kids, it makes them know that wherever they are in the world, they belong somewhere. There's an identity. There's a place they can always go back to. It makes them feel really valuable. You're confident that you know this because of the love you have received, the support you have received by way of family tradition. It's kind of makes it even more even it kind of makes it even more deeper. For example, a child who, let's say, his dad or his mom used to read to bed every night, or used to pray with, maybe before he goes to bed, comes to his bedside and holds hands with him and prays for him, or lays hands on his head and prays for him. What does that mean? The child will grow up, no matter where they are in the world, you know, they know that they belong somewhere. Some people grow up without having an idea of they don't feel they belong anywhere. They
Yeah.
don't feel that
That
they're
sense of belonging and identity is very important.
yes. Then the next thing I would like to talk about is it helps you bond as a family. It helps you, that little window you have as a mom, as a dad, to spend quality time with your family can save you 10 years of catastrophe, 10 years of disaster. Because it's in that simple, relaxed um, mood or conversation or time that you get to hear the things that ordinarily you won't have heard if you were maybe always scolding. And it also helps you get to know your children or your spouse even more. As they say, people grow. People grow. And as people are growing, they change, right? If you're in this call, I can tell you that where you were 2 years ago isn't where you are now. There must have been some change, maybe in your emotions, maybe in personal development, in your career, in some way, either positively or negatively. So there must have been something. So as you're growing, you can't say, "Oh, I married my wife today, and she's the same person." You and I know that in 10 years, she's not the same person that you married.
Yeah.
But if you have that time to spend with her, have that time to, spend with your children, from there, you could even start to see yourself in some of them. If you're a strong-willed person, you start to see those traits, and then it also helps you to nip certain traits you don't like in the bud. If you see that maybe someone is being overly, I don't know, acting out, that's a place to gently correct, because the atmosphere is conducive for that kind of, you know, for that kind of action. You know, it helps you to improve love, the love in the house, and show it more. Family traditions, they help you to improve how you show your love to your family. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, it helps the children to also feel confident that that everything is okay, that everything is all right. So, for example, a family that spends time together, you know, we want to pass down to our children positive values that would ensure that they have a good relationship with people. When you spend time with your children, one of the things that you can pass to them is communication. They learn to, if you spend time with them, they learn to communicate from you. If you're an avoidant parent who doesn't communicate, your child grows up not knowing how to communicate. If you want to raise assertive children, you have to be an assertive parent. And in being an assertive parent, you can also try to have family traditions. So I'll just go right ahead to talking about some of these family traditions, and I'll use mine as an example. So simple things like in 2015 December, I was driving past a certain place, and they had in December, like this December, and they had beautiful lights, beautiful Christmas decorations, and I was so wild by this beautiful Christmas decoration, and I just decided that I was going to bring my children there. Unknown to me at that time that I was actually beginning a family tradition. Yes. So the first year we went there, they were like, "Wow, oh my God, it's so beautiful," you know. The second year we went back there. So every year we go there. Now it's no longer about the lights, right? It's about the time that we
together
in the car. So it's no longer, if it's about the lights, they will not really value it. But the fact that mommy is driving them to so and so place to go and look at that light, the fact that I'm spending quality time with them, it's something that we have done over the years. And in that time, they ask you all the questions. Oh my God, questions that come at you are like 1 billion. So you see, that's a very simple. That's a very simple tradition, and that is pocket friendly. Right? Very pocket friendly. The next one that we have is buying Christmas gifts. And how did I start it? I started it by allowing the children save some money. So they have a piggy bank every year that they save money in. whatever, and sometimes I put money there for them. So at the end of the year, before Christmas, we break the piggy bank. Whatever money that is in that piggy bank, we we now divide it equally. So first of all, you take out your tithe, and then you divide it equally between yourselves. And we do what's it called? We pass around like papers with our names on it. So you pick somebody on that paper, all our name written on it, and then you pick somebody, and then you make sure you get that person a gift, no matter
Wow.
how little. Yes, no matter how little. So next week is Christmas, right, on Sunday. So everybody's
Yeah.
excited. Well, you're going to get a gift. So it's not about the the price of the gift. It's about the gift itself. It's about the
Tradition
thought.
around it.
It's a thought. And what it has done for me is that it has helped the children appreciate any gift that anybody gives them.
Mm.
They don't look at the size, they look at the thoughtfulness, the fact that you thought about them to give them that gift. So you see, it's just a family tradition, but there are several benefits that you can tie to it. You know, certain family traditions, such as these ones, can also help the children cultivate, kindness. An example is maybe every Christmas you take the children to an orphanage and share gifts, or the children on the streets. What you're indirectly doing is planting a seed of kindness in those children. When they grow up and they don't know how to hold back what they have. They are kind, from the heart. It's what you gave them as a gift. The little things are what matter the most. The
Yeah.
big ones don't really matter that much.
Mm.
But the little things, the things they see you do. For example, you're in the parlor, or you're in the room, you're dancing with them. Those memories stick for the longest
Longer.
time. Those memories stick for the longest time.
You're right.
Okay. Yes. Yes. I think I'll stop here. I've been talking too much, so let me stop. So, do you have any questions for me? Any questions to ask?
Wow, it's been a rich and loaded section.
Your audio is muffled up a bit. Can you check it?
Yeah, I can sense the same thing from your end also. I don't know what, you know, that's how I perceived your voice too.
Oh, I can't hear you at all. Would you mind maybe using the chat box? So it's because I can't hear anything you're saying.
Okay.
Okay, I think the network threw her out.
Can you hear me now?
It's still having that distorted sound.
Okay. Can I just type the questions in the comment section?
I can't hear you. Can you type it in the chat section?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to list out while you're typing. I'll list out, some some uh, some ideas, family tradition ideas that you can just adopt. The first
Okay.
is movie night. You can decide to watch movies together, and everybody maybe fortnightly, or maybe during the weekends, and you rotate who gets to pick out what movie that that is being watched, or that's going to be watched. The next one is, I have mentioned it, praying together. They say a family that prays together stays together. Prayer is love. You can't pray for your enemy. It's not possible. And in fact, let me drop a small tip. If someone hurts you and you start praying for that person, you just notice that the hurt dissipates. You don't feel it anymore. So when you're a family that prays together, somehow there will be love binding all of you together. There are certain things that you may not, that you would not find it easy to do. Okay, um, you can have breakfast, weekend breakfast together, or weekend dinner. Sunday dinner, Saturday dinner. The children can come help out in the kitchen, even if it's just to run around or waste water, depending on how big they are. That can also be a sustainable, and it doesn't have to be cooking elaborate meals. The most important thing is sitting around the dining table and actually feeling like a family. That's the important part. Then the next one is for its family vacations. It doesn't have to, again, be somewhere so expensive. It could just be traveling to the village. This is Christmas. So if you like to travel home, traveling together, you know, it's very important. That's one of the family traditions. We also, cultivated to travel together and spend time together. Then family outings to the beach, to nice places. Yes, that's a time for you to bond together. Taking walks together. If you live in a place where you can afford to take walks together, stroll together. That's also a beautiful way to spend time with your family without, cutting a hole in your pocket. And then for each parent, you can try to maybe have single dates with your children. Say this month you're spending one day with A sibling. Next month with B, the other month with C. You can do it once a quarter. You can do it once in 6 months. But the most important thing is that you even try. You can even play games together, word games, Monopoly, card games, just so that everybody's laughing, chatting, and just having a good time together. So yeah, these are a few family traditions one can adopt. Okay, so let's see if your audio is better now.
Hello? I don't think so. Let's just continue.
Not
The chat.
Okay, so I have a question here that says, I think I've answered most of them. One says, family tradition ideas. I've answered that. The other one says, low budget traditions. I've also answered that. The other one says, how do we ensure continuity? How do we ensure continuity? That's pretty simple. Like I said, it's just a set of positive actions that you do over and over again. So the question I'll ask you is, do you want to sustain it? How do you ensure continuity? Do you want to sustain it? What works for you? You know, it's like you saying, I'm trying to look for a very simple example. So let's use this. You say you want to start a family tradition now, and then you go and decide that you want to spend a huge amount of money on having dinner with your family. So is that something you can do every other time? Is that something that you can put together all the time? Else, you may not be able to sustain it. So I would say, in order for you to ensure continuity, you do something that is within your budget, within your means of livelihood and comfort. So that's that. Then the next one is how can you start? I mean, I think I've answered all these questions. How can I start a family tradition? Just start. The willingness to just think of something and start. There's no big deal. It's not a big deal. Just start. It's if you know the importance, or if you understand what it stands for, or how important it is, then it won't be a big deal for you to start. To start with one. I've reeled out like at least 10 ideas for you. Very cost-effective ideas that you can adopt and fly from there. And then the other question here says, is it limited to family? I do not think it's, like I said, tradition. You have the religious traditions, the cultural traditions. You have your family tradition. So it's not limited to families alone. Anything you repeat over and over again, consistency, positive action that you repeat over a period of time, it becomes a tradition. It becomes something that, and guess what? This beautiful tradition can be passed down from generation to generation to generation to generation. It has a good potential to become, a lifelong tradition.
Hello. We lost her there. We lost her there. We lost her there. So, it's been interesting this evening. It's been an interesting evening with Dan Kalu on family traditions. And you know what uh, struck me the most is the fact that it's important to be consistent with family tradition. Family traditions builds a sense of identity and belonging, in children, which is a solid foundation that makes them unshakable wherever they find themselves. They don't look up to anybody to approve of them. It's vital. It's vital. And when we do this, we are laying a great foundation for the future of our children. It also helps to build family bonding. Yeah, it's also an avenue for growing love. This is so interesting, and it's empowering. So for I asked her in the comments if she could give some suggestions around Christmas celebration, and one she gave earlier is about going to specific places during Christmas. She also raised uh, made a suggestion, well, around a tradition they have in their family of saving till Christmas, and then there's an exchange of gifts uh, 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 during Christmas time. Uh, the saving is shared equally, and everybody goes to ahead and buys gifts for whoever they pick. Uh, Whichever family member that is allotted to them by ballot ballot system. So it's a lot. This is uniting, and it brings the family together. It also strengthens the bond of love in the family. It helps communication too a great deal. It improves communication in the family also. Yeah. So as we go on to have a nice time this season, let's remember that it does not cost anything to start a family tradition. It's in the little things, really. It's in the little things. It's in the little things. And that's, what matters is the fact that we are all doing it together as a family. It doesn't have to be the big things. We don't have to break the bank to start a tradition. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, 10 traditions at once. No, just start with one this year. Next year, you can add one more. Just make sure it does not now become, cumbersome and become something that will be a source of stress to everyone. Once it becomes a source of stress, then the whole aim of family tradition, the whole aim around family tradition is, it's destroyed. Yeah, once it becomes a source of stress. So it should not be something that stresses everybody. Rather, it should be something, that is fun, something that an avenue where we as a family we can play together, we can distress, we can relax, we can bond, we can relate, we can improve on our relationship. It's something that should leave us better off as a family, and it's something that should also strengthen the bond between us as a family, not something that will leave everybody worn out, and will not leave uh good memory. The whole aim of around family tradition is that it's something that will leave us with good feelings, and then we always look forward, to this tradition. And she also mentioned that it's something that should be from generation to generation. So it's important that we document these things. Yeah, not just leave it in the air. It's very, very important that we document it. This way we can take it from generation to generation. And each generation will keep improving on it and keep getting better at it. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. I guess because of the network, she couldn't join back. These things can be unpredictable at times. Thank you for joining us. I'm so grateful. It's been a wonderful year. And one thing I want to leave you with at this moment is that you should please stay hopeful. Stay hopeful. Yeah. Stay hopeful. And be express gratitude. Gratitude also strengthens hope in you, and even when the hope is dead, it brings it to life. So as much as possible, stay on the line of being grateful, and this would empower, bring life, bring hope, restore hope to every situation you find yourself at this point in time. It's been a wonderful year. A lot has happened this year, but we are here, and so we are still grateful. So please let this period be a time of reflection and gratitude, like I said in my chat earlier. Yeah, for all the good things. Even in the midst of the tough situation, there are lots of good things, it may not necessarily always be the big things, but there are lots of good things all over the place that happen to us as well. So let's focus on this and reflect on it as we go into the new year. I look forward to seeing you in the new year, God willing. I remain Ife Oluwapo Aribisala, your host, and I'm wishing you okay, I guess she's back, and she's back. And at time we are still on schedule. So let me add her on to just round up.
Okay.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes, much
Okay.
better, loud and clear.
Okay. Great,
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
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 So I hope I was able to answer all the questions.
Yes. Yeah. There were two here. One is that is creating family traditions limited to families alone. How can those who haven't started their own families, establish a tradition that can evolve into a family tradition eventually?
Okay, those who haven't started their own family.
Singles, people who are not married, who don't have maybe
Oh, I see. Okay, so the So the first step is being aware that there's actually something called a family tradition, and actually now start thinking of how to have this tradition. And then on your own, start looking out for ideas you can adopt or even start for yourself. For example, if on Christmas Day you decide, oh, I want to stay in and watch movies. Every Christmas you're watching movies alone, right? When you have a family, you can share that with your husband, and then with time it becomes, a family tradition. So the first step is to actually acknowledge that this thing exists, and you know acknowledge it, appreciate it, and then find a way to, or start looking out for things like, you could from the things I've shared, you'll be like, you can pick out one or two and say, oh, hey, this one, I think I would like to do it, um, when I would like to adopt it when I get married. I think this is something I want everyone. I want everyone in my family to adopt something as simple as prayer, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the next question?
It's important you document it as well. That's the only way you won't forget.
Exactly. You document
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
You document it. But most important, if it's in your heart, you will definitely remember as soon as you start having children. But it's also like she said, if you document it, it's also important. It will also help.
Thank you. Can you give us suggestions for more suggestions anyway? You've given some earlier. If you have any more around, since we are going into the Christmas celebration and New Year, can you give us some more suggestions for traditions that we can establish around Christmas celebration? Any more?
Any more traditions?
Yeah.
You can shop together. How about shopping? You can
Okay.
shop together.
Those are things we don't think about. Mommy wants to go alone and buy everything.
Yes, you could shop together. Yeah. Allow the children to pick out what they want instead of you picking it out for them. You could do sporting activities. For example, maybe a field, play football together, or, you know, like I said, take walks. Um, Let me see. Annual photos. That one. Why did I forget that one? That's one I love
Photo
so
shoot.
much.
Photo shoot.
Photo shoot, taking annual photos. I love that one so
Mm,
much. I love it. I
mm.
love it. I mean, it's something I've done for what, 7 years. So
Wow.
every year we take mom. Yeah, every year we take pictures. As a matter of fact, we're slated for one. you know,
Wow.
it's just a time to spend together, smile, look nice,
Mm,
build confidence,
mm.
whether or not it's been a good year, or there's something to
Yeah,
thank God for. Everyone in
that's
your
what
family is here. When you come together and take pictures, it's such a beautiful thing,
yeah.
you know.
Cool.
Then game nights, like I said, game nights. It could even be playing video games together. Mommy is playing video game. The day I come out to say I'm playing video game, everybody is looking at me like, Mommy, are you serious?
Are
You're
you
coming
for
to
real?
play, as in, Mommy, are you for real? You're coming to play
You
video
for
game
real?
with us. Yes, but of course, that's another fantastic way. I think that's all I have on my list for
Wow.
now.
Thank you.
My
And it should be
pleasure.
something that everybody will find interesting as well. That should be taken into
Yeah,
consideration.
yes, yes.
Because what
I
I
know.
don't like doing, I would want to join in doing it, regardless of if someone is trying to, you know, make it a tradition. So,
Yes, yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. Another thing that just popped into my heart that you could do is make it a point of duty to invite one person that is lonely, that is alone during the this kind of Christmas festive season. This season is usually difficult for a lot of people. People who maybe have lost their spouses, lost a child, lost, going through a bad divorce, you know, maybe lost their job or aren't even married, are alone. So this season is usually a time of even people who are struggling with addiction, depression. It's usually a very difficult time for them. So perhaps if you have someone who is alone in this season and you think that you can lend a hand, you can invite them to the table. So maybe within the year, you start looking around. If you make it a family tradition, you never know whose life you're giving back. You're giving back, giving them extra additional, um, lifetime for, a chance to
Wow.
life, second chance to life. I always say that love is a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Love is universal. It
Yeah.
cuts across race, gender, color. So
Yeah.
you just never know. Just that one act of kindness can save somebody. Just that, oh hey, would you mind coming to join us for dinner? I know everybody wants to be private, it's family time and all. But I mean, you just never, I mean, for someone out there who is very liberal, very open, open-minded, if this is you, I think that you should try to reach out to someone who you assume is lonely.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been trailer loads of lessons and new things around family traditions. Thank you. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. Any final words? We are as we go into the new year, the Christmas celebrations, the new year and all that.
Okay, my final words would be take it one day at a time. One day at a time. As a matter of fact, 1 second at a time. It's for so many people. It's been a difficult year.
Yeah,
You know, it's been a very very difficult year around the globe. But thank God you're still here.
yeah,
A living
yeah.
dog is better than a dead lion,
That,
right? That's what they say. So
that's what I was emphasizing on as well while you were
yeah,
away.
so yes, uh,
Oh, we lost her again. Okay, just to complete it, while there's life, there is hope. While there's life, there is hope. So please and please keep hope alive. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. Keep hope alive. No matter how difficult the situation is, keep hope alive because while there's life, there is hope. So have a most beautiful Christmas celebration and an amazing 2023. I look forward to seeing you in the new year by the grace of God. Thank you very much. It's nice having you on the show. Thank you once again. Please and please try and share. Also, can help share the replay link to as many people that is going to benefit as possible. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening. Bye.